I am in complete utter disbelief in what we just witnessed in episode 22 of Orb. We've seen so much death in this show. We literally had a death in this episode. Schmidt got killed. A pretty brutal death as well. But I would argue that wasn't the biggest death of not only this episode, but the show as a whole. And it's the death of Nowak. He's technically still alive, but Antonio came in and in a matter of minutes killed him. Not with a weapon, not with actions, but with words. The most interesting thing when you look at this show when it started, and the whole idea of this belief. If you look at our own world, there's not really traces of people getting killed for this belief. Like, I'm sure there's some odd people who might have, disgruntled people. But it's not like in our own history, this was like a major thing, from my understanding. And what's so interesting is that Orb, they did their own twist of it, right? That like, oh, in this world, this belief would have you burned at the stake. But it wasn't. In fact, all this time, it pretty much boils down to that really one disgruntled guy got upset. Maybe because of his own research hitting a dead end, maybe because of this or that, and ultimately convince certain people, such as Nowak, that in order to protect the church, to protect God and religion, those who study this belief should be burned, should be killed, and you should feel no guilt because you are doing an act of God. And when you look at our own world and how many things have been under the guise and under the how many wars have been launched under religion? The fact that this man didn't have to pick up a goddamn weapon. He looked at Nowak and said, in actuality, all these people that you killed, you did not do it for God. You did it for some petty asshole back in the day. To witness someone whose entire life has been, no matter what, I will do what's right for my God, for my religion. Only for Antonio to come up here acting like the cool Pope, saying, I'm kind of modern. I'm kind of hip. I am convinced this is the best anime I've ever watched. We have 3 episodes left. Wow. Full thoughts, if you want to see my full thoughts, I do have a Patreon if you want to support my work. Full and cut live reactions. Wow, over there. It's crazy that they killed Schmidt and I hardly want to talk about that. And he was one of my favorites. When I saw Nowak approach, I thought to myself, damn it, he's going to kill Draka, and then Antonio's going to publish the book. But then I thought to myself, actually, maybe the book doesn't get published at all. Eventually the truth gets out there, but damn, that'd be a bittersweet ending. Maybe they still will do that. I'm still half expecting Nowak to try to stab a bitch, and he might do so. But it's so interesting that I've never thought what he was doing was right. Because if there was actually a God in the sky, do you think killing people who have different beliefs is like, at that point, I consider whatever you believe in a devil. Like, it's there's no other way to put it. All this time, anytime characters have been jumped, we've always felt like they had to fight to the death to protect themselves. And this man is just standing there like, yeah, I already had all this shit burned. I'm already ahead of you. Listen, boss man, let me bring you to the modern age here. Think about it. Maybe this theory's right. And in doing so, maybe that would just make God all the more beautiful. Hey, maybe it's wrong, but hey, let's have ideas out there. As long as people believe in God, hey, that's all that really matters. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, this is interesting, but that's not going to stop this guy. He has an entire belief. And I think what really hits it, and I think does that critical blow, he lists the names. Hubert, Raffle, Badeni, Ochi. The fact that he name dropped them, this is gonna go overlooked. The fact that he remembers their names indicates he probably remembers their faces. Probably remembers the last look they had when they died. Means that their deaths actually impacted him. And it impacted him when he was under the belief that he had to do this for God, for the church. Meaning he never enjoyed what he did, but he was so convinced because people in positions that he thought were above him said that this is what God wants. And if you look at our own history, there's so many unfortunate cases of people being told similar things, that in the name of God, go do this crime. And then they do it because they think they are protected. To have that completely shattered, that no, you're just a monster. You have done things, these heinous crimes. Your daughter herself, like, he's not aware she blew up in front of him, but I'm sure with how critical of a blow just happened here, he'll learn that too. But she was killed too under this whole thing. The fact that he dedicated his whole life to a group that are nothing more than murderers. And not even murderers who would still go to heaven because they're doing what's right for God. No, because of one disgruntled man. That has to be one of the most amazing written things I have ever seen. Not just in anime, period. The way this show has clicked with me is just insane. We are literally witnessing a modern classic, one of the greatest anime ever made. And in 10 years' time, people are gonna like start watching this one even more and be like, man, it's wild how many people like didn't watch this. Schmidt did die. I believe he would have lived had he not been stabbed prior to getting stabbed by Nowak. He was winded, and he tackled a guy off of a horse, like he was in pain. But he killed the one guy. But you have to imagine, Schmidt is a lot younger than where Nowak is. He is still physically more fit and capable. I think Nowak only wins that fight if he gets a sneak attack. I firmly believe that. But, you know, W's a W. But the fact that he can go out being like, I died for my blood. A man who is so, like, this as well, just like, he recognizes he did something for himself and not for his God either. It's just when you think you know the formula the show wants to go, they introduce something even crazier. It's no exaggeration to say we just killed Nowak, but in the most gruesome way, not because of a physical death, but because of an emotional one. And for that I say, wow. 3 episodes to go, and then it's over. You let me know your thoughts down below. What did you think? Yeah, thoughts down below. Leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new around, of course ring that bell. Like I mentioned, full live reactions over on Patreon, and hey, while you're over there, I'll give you a video shout out. Alright, so today we got FlavDorks414, Wen2X, Drift, Jesse Wright, Casey Holscher, Mick Pie, Simulcrum, Troy, and we also have Rikamatsu. So I appreciate the support, everyone. Please take care, and y'all have a good one.